now I have an update. And I have an update from the little cute dog that followed me during my sexy walk. And this story with this dog started yesterday. I love the name Unapologetically Expensive because I don't apologize. And if you have the choice of being expensive or cheap, don't pick cheap. So while I was on my sexy walk yesterday, with pleasure, there was this cutesy little dog that was running in and out of traffic, and some of the other neighbors attempted to get this cute little dog. And it looked like it was a blend of a Pomeranian, which is cute, small dog, luscious long hair, blended with the color pattern of a Rottweiler. So black and that caramel brown. And this dog came to me. No one else could capture the dog. I captured the dog. I went to a few neighbors' houses to see if it was their dog. There was no tag. I brought it back to my parents' house. I took it to the pet store to see if it had a microchip, because this is a PSA. If you have a cat or a dog, get them microchipped and have a collar with your phone number, because if they happen to run out, if they happen just to escape or go away because they want to get away from you, anyone who finds them can easily get them back to you if they have your phone number on their collar, if that collar also has their name, and if they also have a microchip. Because the dog had a collar, but it had no name tag. So then I took it to the pet store and they can scan it. And if your pet has a microchip, then your name and information comes up. But it didn't have that. So you basically just have a pet now, which wasn't going to work. Because my mother quickly said, "Girl, you can't bring that dog here." So I knew the dog couldn't come here. So I was going around the neighborhood because I looked up and saw from the American Kennel Club that when a dog runs away, they're usually no more than 1,000 feet from their home, which means within the neighborhood. So I went and did the neighborly thing and asked some neighbors. And I found someone who said, I don't know whose dog this is. However, I have a lovely house. The dog is cute. My prior dog was a rescue. I'm open to holding the dog until the owners reach out. I said, great. So she loved the dog, and her little dog loved the dog. And her dog that she had, thank you, Kitty, for liking the live, was a rescue. And no one reached out from next door or any of the other channels. And so she was like, if no one's reached out, we love the dog. This dog gets along with my dog perfectly. She's a sweetheart. She's an angel. And I said, you see, it all works out. Because I love animals. I do love dogs. And stray dogs come to me. Like, animals just come to me. Lost animals always flock to me. So I'll do what I can to locate them, or locate them back to somewhere where they can rest their heads. And that's what happened in this case. So she is housing the dog. No one has reached out. And that's common. That's really common. But pets they're a part of our family. And we can usually think of a pet. Thank you, Shiny Web Design and QR Code, for the follow. We can usually think of a pet from our childhood or that lived near us. And we can reference some good memory from that dog or that cat or that rock or pet ant, an ant farm. My sister had an ant farm, which is probably too much responsibility for her. But then there's, you can move up to goldfish, which I was great at taking care of my fish. My sister usually, they died. So I think after a while, I just started taking guardianship of her dying pets or the goldfish. And pets need to be selected with care and with thought and with love in mind, because a pet is like what a lot of people are doing as far as a relationship. They just want something. Like, you have to understand, you have to be prepared for it. You have to have the space for it, the time for it, the patience for it, the attention for it. A pet is like a relationship. It has to be nurtured. And also often with a pet or a relationship, it's just the thought, I want something. I want something to get me away from my miserable self. So a Mr. Mrs. C and so, hello. I love that name because, jumping to a different topic, I took sewing lessons as a kid, and I loved it because my grandmother, there's always someone that sewed. There's always someone. Maybe it was in the neighborhood, or you had a tailor. What's up, Mag? And I always thought that was cool. Plus, clothes are boring. I always would rip them apart and remix them. And my grandmother had one of those old Singer sewing machines. And yeah, okay, a grandmother, of course. She had one of the old Singer sewing machines, which was one whole big piece. It was almost like a desk where it had the foot pedal and it was like a cast iron. All my life you have been. Thank you for the follow. I remember there was a gentleman who said that, like, I've waited all my life for you. And I was like, I know you have. And I'm going to leave. Just because you waited your whole life for me does not mean I've waited my whole life for you. You will come and go, but you're welcome for that moment for you. So my grandmother had the Singer sewing machine, and I think she could do a little sewing with her hand, but it was just a useful skill. And my grandmother, who was from Oklahoma, Choctaw Native American, they did all of these things. Thank you, Tony Thomas 9467, for sharing the live. Exactly, Eliza, exactly. Everyone can think of that. And those memories, especially with sewing, is comforting. And Mag, just block. We don't do muting. Please and thank you. So, and the security is in the building. I have to say, you always have to have someone to handle the goons. I don't do that. Plus, you don't want to be like incriminated with anything. So you always have something as a buffer, just in case. So you are carrying on her legacy by being Mrs. So-and-so. Get it? So-and-so. I love that too. It's a play off of words. It could be like so-and-so. I was telling you this and so-and-so. Or so and so, because it's sewing. I love that. It's eclectic, and you will not forget that. And that's purposeful. But that's because there was intention. And that's the difference with intention. Meg, don't play with me. Happy dude. Thank you for the roses, but you got to send me more than 2 roses. You aren't that happy of a dude if you're sending 2 roses. I demand like more than 2. Happy dude. I'm in front of the fire. Come on. So Jules Z101, thank you for following me. Miss So and So, my grandmother's sewing machine. I took sewing lessons, and I think that where I took the lessons had sew in the business name, and I would go every Saturday, and I think it was 2 or 3 hours, and learn all of the basics, learning how to read a pattern, how to gauge fabrics, how to cut, how to weave the string into the sewing machine, and I really enjoyed it. And it's such a useful skill. Thank you for the perfume. I appreciate that. Thank you. You see, just ask. All you have to do is ask. Ahmed Mohammed Hassan, thank you for the follow. It's such a useful skill. And because it's useful and it's helpful, it's good knowing you always have that available. Dor Jackson 67, thank you for the follow. And that can be like anything useful in life. Like, imagine you could just sew your clothes. I had thought about that last year, the past few years, where I just want to sew all of my clothes. Either sew all of them or just wear like Steve Jobs, like wear a black cotton top and denim every day, because that streamlines your day. That's one less thing that you would think about. Thank you for the gummy bear. Is it Haribo, Germany's finest? But because we put attention into our clothing, that can sometimes bring discomfort when people are choosing their outfit for the day, or maybe a feeling of lack for what they do not see in their wardrobe, and how being intentional about that, about not even having to think about it, I just wear the same thing every day, could streamline life. I like to wear beautiful things. I don't really do just comfortable. I don't know what that means. Whenever someone says, I want to dress comfortable, I'm like, are you wearing barbed wire? What are you wearing that is so painfully uncomfortable? Thank you, Titan Wolf, for the follow. What are you wearing? Because clothes are not uncomfortable. And there's a bit of too much comfort. Like, I am all against the pajama movement. I don't get it. I think it's gross. I thought it was gross in high school. I think it's gross now. If you want to wear your pajamas out, that you probably slept in, to the airport, on the airplane, that's disgusting, with slippers and everything. No, see the beauty in your experience. And maybe that beauty is, I will try something else. Thank you for the follow, Marusha, because it's gross. I don't really do sweats. I don't think I would do that outside of home. Chi Good Energy, thank you for the follow. What's up, Valentine? However, it all comes back to that choice of what to wear. And that choice of being intentional about what to wear. How am I showing up in life? Because when I dress every day, I've shown up for life. It's good. It's never I just throw this on. No, it's a coordinated ensemble. Buenos Aires. It's a coordinated ensemble. And I always had these characters of women around me that dressed every day and had their pantyhose or their nylons, and they prepared themselves and took their rollers out of their hair and made sure to have their blush and their lipstick, and really proud of their feminine elegance. But these were some mean women. Like, the thing is, they were beautiful and they were well put together, but their words would cut you. Their words were weighted. And that was a part of that beauty, that you had no idea this old lady will cut you down to a, like, cube with her words. Just chop you down, your outfit, your mama, your everything, your life. But there was a beautiful elegance, and it was a power that was, I shared this with my mom yesterday, that sometimes power, especially in a structure such as the US, is only thought of in a masculine sense, such as loud and dominant, and dominant, not dominion. And I talked to my dad about the difference, because there is a difference between demanding, dominance, and dominion. Dominant is a forcing. You must do these things, or else you are terrified of me. Versus dominion, where the people actually want to do that because of the belief. And the difference in the two, and the difference in sometimes that mistake, that power and true influence is only loud and painful. It's often also quietly understated and felt. And that's what I see when I think of my great-grandmother or my grandmothers or my mother. These are very beautiful, elegant women that prepared themselves, but they were mean. Now, even when I come and I'm around them now, I'm like, y'all are mean. I guess that's why I'm so tough. I had no idea. And I was reminded because last Saturday was my father's send-off. And I don't say funeral, I say a send-off. It can be. I don't think there's a wrong or right for loud and passionate. It can be. It's up to your perspective. I don't think there's one way. And sure, for me, it's always sure. Passionate can be understated and just in a gaze. It doesn't, it's all what you consider passionate to show up as. So it's all of it. The mean women who had a silent but efficient power. And even that beauty in just preparing yourself and taking that time during the day with the lipstick and the foundation and all of that in a way of not for anyone else but yourself. I prepare myself for the world, not the other way around. Darvis Clay, thank you for the follow. Not the, I'm only putting on makeup to be seen. No, the beauty of me being seen is me preparing myself for the day. You did not. You can't ever do that, Valentine. Come on now, please. You did not. And yeah, they can be mean. And I was reminded of how powerful and charismatic we are. My nephew is like, yeah, all the women in the family you guys do not play. And that was a beautiful statement to hear. That was so uplifting. What's up, Adrian? I see you. And Micah came in my live yesterday, and I shared with him how proud of you guys I am, because I see you jamming out on the new, the app. Put the app in the chat. I think it's Nubian for you, or Dame Dash's app. So this is for Adrian. I see you guys, and I'm really proud of you. You guys are deserving of that, and And creating is to create, to expand, and share your art. So the mean women who wore the lipstick and all the nice stuff, I would never, ever think to go to the airport in pajamas. I wouldn't anyway, especially my time with the airline, being a flight attendant, and my dad. When we traveled, you dress nice or you dress comfortably nice, but I could never wear pajamas. So it's heavens no. And after working in aviation and being a flight attendant, it's always functional and beautiful. For me, a jumpsuit. I love a jumpsuit. I'm often wearing Farm Rio jumpsuits. And then I was like, I can just sew my jumpsuits. But I love a jumpsuit. It's one and done. It often has some pockets because I love my pockets. It's comfortable. You can move around in, but it's beautiful. And that is always going to be the choice over pajamas. Like I've always said, the airport is the world's intersection. Thank you, Valentine. What's up, Rover? Always go to the airport looking and feeling your best. So what does that have to do with me, Meg? I'm glad you have a jumpsuit. I love Iceland. When I went I really liked Iceland, and I still have Iceland in mind for actually living. Yeah, of course. And I dress beautifully. I don't even think about the comfortable part. Clothes are comfortable. I'm not wearing barbed wire, but beautiful and functional. That is when I'm traveling. My dad would always wear nice slacks and like a button down or a polo shirt. No jeans. I don't wear jeans while traveling. And most of the time when I'm traveling, it's really long distances. And I think about that because a 2-hour flight is not a 17-hour flight. And I have done where I got dressed at my departure location, and when I landed at my arrival location, I was dressed ready to go, like in a car to an event. I've done that, but I typically that can be sometimes daunting. Like, I know, that's great. I love that you love jumpers because they are beautiful. So you made a great choice, Mag. And it is the world's intersection. If you ever want to meet someone or anyone, whether it's business, friendship, relationship, just people watch, the airport is the place because it is the only place in the world that everyone meets. Everyone in the world meets. I love it. I love airports. I love airport design. I love it. I really, really do. And the U.S. doesn't have the most functional airports. Not at all. It depends where you compare them to. But a European airport would always have, say, a pharmacy and full clothing stores. If you're in Asia, such as like Hong Kong's airport, you can go there without anything and buy a new life. You can buy everything. You can buy a whole new wardrobe. You can grocery shop. You can do everything. And that's the beauty with airports, because until you really venture out, the belief is that an airport is just your local airport. And airports show the variation of a place. And do I have a favorite airport? There's airports that are easier to maneuver. And there's airports that are like beautiful. And then there's airports like this just feels like an airport. It does not, like, it's rushed and everyone's moving. But when intentional design is put into airports, maybe Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Thank you for the cuddle with me. Uh, it's a design that makes you go, wow, this is beautiful. But you know, Netherlands, how Danish design, not Danish, the design from Holland is known. It is somewhat of the design style of current. And in airports, what I have said though, I have seen many people that I've known, yeah, the Dutch. And I shared the story, that was my first international trip. My first international trip was to Rotterdam. And then I've been to Amsterdam like hundreds of times. And my first official trip was to Amsterdam, and it was amazing. And my trip to Rotterdam was like during the blooming season of the tulips, because Holland is known for its tulips, and they grow tulips, and you see the tulip fields, and it is just a beautiful sight of flowers. Yeah, it is the largest harbor export, yeah, in Europe. That is correct. I know that about Rotterdam. And it's not known. But outside of, there's a lot of ports. I just know Rotterdam is the largest port in Europe. And that was the only place. Whenever people talk about 50-50, I don't know that I've never had an encounter like that, except when I was in Holland. But the thinking in Holland is everyone is equal. And that's where, even in the US, we get that catchphrase, oh, to go Dutch, because the belief is a woman is equal, like a man. They are paid equally, they are viewed equally, and culturally it is seen that each person takes care of themselves, even within partnership and marriages. It's a completely different way of thinking, as is every country has a different way of thinking. And that was the only time. I had met someone on a layover, and we went to this art showing. He was an artist, and he had a friend's show. And I think we met, I don't know where we met. Let's say we met when I went to the bakery, because I would go to the bakery and I would get my tea. And I would usually get bread to take to my room and stroopwafels. Those are the waffles that you sometimes get on the plane, and you put them on top of your coffee or tea, and the middle gets all gooey because it has caramel, and you bite into it. It's delicious. They are so delicious when they're straight out of the bakery. I know, Valentine, I'm #1 happiest nation in the world. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Yes, stroopwafel. So I think I was getting that, and we started talking, and he said, would you like to come to a gallery opening? I was like, of course, sure, of course. So he had a motorcycle or a Vespa, I don't know. I hopped on the back of the moving thing, and we went to this art gallery opening, and it was really nice. And while we were there, we were talking, because we had just met maybe an hour or two earlier. And then we went out to eat afterwards. We went to a Nepalese restaurant, food from Nepal, which is like a fusion, because it's Indian, but it's food from Nepal. It's slightly different. And he made the assumption like, okay, well then this is yours and this is mine, and I will pay for mine and you will pay for yours. And I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't even like an issue because I know culturally that's what people do. Um, so that is my going Dutch story, the only one I have in my life. And it was actually from a Dutchman in Holland. That's what makes the story that much better. So today I had sat outside. Thank you, Angela, for the follow. And I was outside. If you were on my live in the sun, you know, I like to tan. I usually strip everything off. I usually strip everything off and sit in the sun and just soak up the rays because you don't want tan lines. And you always look better with some sun. Plus, sun on your complete body is so good for you. There's so much great energy and healing you can get from soaking in the sun. And so while I was in the sun, I had picked some oranges from the orange tree and I sat and I just really sat in that moment of, I'm just going to sit here. And I share that because sometimes the thought is, I need to do something. I need to go here. I need to do this. No, I'm here and I'm enjoying this. I don't need to think about exactly what to do next. What about if I just sit and enjoy and have this moment with myself and allow myself to be just in that relaxed, calm, I'm going to chill state. And the beauty of that, but how often is it thought of to not do that? To not, like, there is something I can do. Why? I don't need to be here. I need to be in movement. I need to be in some sort of productive activity. And even why? All you have to do is be. That's really all you have to do. And that feeling of sitting with that quiet moment of no movement. There. Sitting in that quiet moment of no movement. And I often think to do more, do less, because that's usually the complete opposite. The complete opposite is I need to do more. I need to do more. I should be doing more. I feel good when I do more. I want to be tired. I want to sacrifice my time. No, do less. Do less. Really, do less. And really start thinking of time as your biggest source of wealth. Because I know some people who say, yeah, I get up early so I can be done with my day by 11. I'm like, well, what are you rushing through the day? You're rushing to have your day done. I understand productivity, but still the thought of, I need to get it done so then I can get to me. No, it will get completed. I don't have to rush it. In fact, when I'm more intentional about it, there's a joy in the completion instead of the feeling of, I just need to get this done. Like I will during my timing, during the course of the day. It doesn't have to be exactly by 10:30 this month. No, I'll get it done by the end of the day, and you will. If you say it, your body knows it, you'll get it done. But that immense pressure just to be in constant movement or constant productivity or just that feeling, that push. Ask yourself if you have it, and if you do, why? What is this intense urgency? Hello, Cigar Bazaar. And is it comfortable for you? Is it like beneficial? Because if it's not, release it. If that, you're not supposed to feel anxious. Like, you're not to regularly have headaches and feel anxious and rushed is not a part of human makeup. That's not normal. So if you are, maybe your body is telling you something, or maybe you should ask, is this actually what I want to feel? Thank you for the follow, God First. Do I like feeling like this? Do I even know that I have the option not to feel like this? You get to choose. And in my live earlier today, I spoke about actually having that responsibility of choosing. I really chose that I no longer ever wanted to live in snow after living in snow, but I've had different times. DC snow is different from New York snow. New York snow is different from London winter. Paris winter is different from a Chicago winter. However, because I've had all of these variations of winter and snow, I understand that I could do without those 3 months of snow. It's beautiful. Let's go snowboarding. Fantastic. Après ski. Lovely. Little holiday with a chalet. Fantastic. But then leave. I don't want to constantly see it. And I remember saying, like, it was a really intensely, bitterly cold winter back east within the past 10 years. And I was like, oh, heck no. I am leaving here. And I knew that was it. And then I moved to Maui. But I often hear people say, I hate this snow. It's so cold. This is terrible. Oh, I don't want to live here. But then you still live there. Be about it. Like, if you don't like it, you can change it. It's the same with a relationship. If you complain about it with no change, then you don't actually want change. You just want to talk about it. And maybe talking about it may be doing an action, but it's not. It doesn't do anything. It just brings more intention. It brings more attention into something that you choose not to put effort towards changing. And all it takes to do that change is typically do the opposite of what you were doing before. So if it was, I don't speak up for myself, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, I don't want to outshine anyone, do the opposite. I do speak up for myself. I'm never outshining anyone because we're all shining. I don't dim any light, and all lights are here to be shined. So whatever gift or skill or thing you do that you do best, it's for you to share it. That's why you have it. So the immediate thought of, I don't want to share it because I don't want people not to like me or to judge me, is not the purpose of your gift. The purpose of the gift, thank you, Sherry, for the follow, is to share it. And share it fully, whatever it may be. Because also, that thought of, I don't want to fill in the blank someone else, is already a sign that you've already been dimming your light. Because there was a time where that was never the case. There was a time when you were a kid, you were probably 3, 4, 5, and you would just play with Legos or be on the jungle gym or whatever activity you did without the thought of how it would impact someone else. And then there came a time where maybe you saw that it did, and you've carried that with you. But it could just be that time to say, I don't have to carry this anymore. Am I even carrying this? Do I even believe this? How did I learn this? Who taught me that? Oh, I don't need to have that thought of myself anymore. Okay, I'll just think differently. I will think that no longer applies to me. And just that simple thought may change other thoughts, but it's the questioning and understanding like, oh, I've been carrying this, and I don't need to. I don't have to. I don't have to have it to define me. And sometimes that comes with, life or friendships or just the lessons that life is always showing us. I found through living all the places that I've lived, I've had to encounter a lot of things that have challenged my constructs, both socially, internally, and how I see myself. And it is beautifully uncomfortable. And it's worth it. And that's the best explanation. It is beautifully uncomfortable, and it's worth it. And it's a part of it. Actually, when you feel uncomfortable or feel like, wow, I'm really changing, things around me are changing, I'm changing, it's beautiful. And remind yourself and congratulate yourself for that. Because if you feel that way, it means that you're actually doing the change. There may be people that choose to stay away from it solely because they fear that beautiful discomfort. And just through that fear of the beautiful discomfort, you push away that stronger version of yourself, that new version of yourself. But it's all in the journey, or at least I see it as that way sometimes. And I went to the grocery store for my mom because, as I said, my father's send-off was last Saturday. So I'm here. I'm one of 5 total girls. And from different times, my sisters have been here, and we're here with my mom. And it's like a role reversal because now I'm the child, but I'm an adult. So it's a beautiful space. And I help out and clean up and make my mom snacks and dinner. And so she sent me to the grocery store because I always make some pico de gallo, or just like basic salsa with tomatoes, cilantro, onions, and serrano chilies. Salt and pepper, good squeeze of lemon, and some cumin. And she sent me to the grocery store to pick up the ingredients as well as tortillas because I make my own tortilla chips. I do not like a soggy chip. I do not like most of the tortilla chips in the bags, like the texture is gross. It's not good. So I just make my own. And so I cut my tortillas in quadrants, so they're nice triangles, and I fry them in peanut oil because peanut oil, I like the taste, and it has a high smoke content so you can get it hot. Now, I make wonderful tortilla chips because I love tortilla chips, and I do small batches, and I love a small batch chip. Like I don't like most. I like small batches because small batches, each chip individually has a different color because they all are kind of in their own timing and they may overlap and connect, or like there's character in the chip. There's character in the chip. So I make small batches for me and my mom. I make the pico de gallo and I present her with a bowl of chips, the fresh pico de gallo, and I always use red onion because I like the bite, the crispness that a red onion gives, especially to salsa. Oh, I mean, any onion is great, but specifically red onion has a nice crisp flavor. So I made my mom that. But while I was at the grocery store, she said, go get this. And I went, and as I was coming down one of the aisles, it was almost like the health body section. There was this beautiful, mature couple. And I heard this woman saying, they told me the toothpaste was around here. I think it's mixed up. They said the toothpaste would be here, but it's not here. And I had just passed the toothpaste and I was walking towards her. So I told her, oh no, girl, you're walking directly to the toothpaste. They didn't get you all mixed up. And she said, oh, thank you. And we started talking. And they were here for a funeral, but they actually live in Northern California. And we started talking. They're about my parents' age. They were born in the 70s, in the late 40s. They're in their 70s. And just really nice couple. And then the lady says, well, sweetheart, what's your name? And I said, my name is Hope. She said, wow, what a beautiful name. She said, I had a friend named Hope. I said, you did? She said, yeah, my friend, her name was Hope, and she was from Yugoslavia. I said, she was? She said, yeah. And she said, in her native tongue, her name meant hope. But it was pronounced nada, nada, like N-A-D-A. And when her friend, whose name in her native language was Hope, came and moved to California, she went and learned English. And one of the teachers was Hispanic. And he would say, well, nada means nothing. Nada means nothing. And her name was Nada, but it meant hope. And so she thought, wow, if nada means nothing, I'm changing my name to Hope because I don't want my name not to mean nothing. And I thought that was powerful because her name meant hope, but that belief of, well, when people hear nada, they think nothing. No, I'll change it to the English word hope because I need the meaning and the definition of this to be felt every day. I said, wow, that's a beautiful story. She said, and Hope, I live on Hope Street. I was like, all of these coincidences. She lives on Hope Street. She had a best friend named Hope, and then she meets Hope. And it was a great story. And then I got some frankincense oil. And I love frankincense oil. And I love my oils, my lavender, which I pick usually daily. Tea tree oil. And I was so excited because now what I do is I take my frankincense oil and I just soak it because we have the fireplace going. So I put the frankincense oil on a piece of wood like this and it soaks it up. And then I throw it in the fire and it smells of frankincense and it's so nice. It is so nice. It's like an incense, but even better. And on last night's live, I said, that's why I prefer a fire. Central heat is great, and I love central heat. However, with a fire, you have the beautiful view of the fire. You get to hear the crack, snapple, pop. You get to see the colors. You have the radiant heat, which is better for your skin than the artificial heat. There's so many other things, the scent, and now I found a way to make it even better. So I take pieces of the bark and I just soak it with whatever essential oil, and then I take it in my room and it's like a natural incense if I don't throw it in the fire. Thank you, yo-yo. You can't play with my yo-yo. Yo. Don't try to play me out. Does anyone remember that song? That song was great. I remember playing that song on replay. Yes. Yo-yo. Yo-yo is fly. We had all of these beautiful creatives. We always have. I've talked enough. Once I actually don't have anything else to say, I cease talking. So, I am the storyteller, Hope, and I come on here and I talk. That's why I'm a speaker. That's what I do. And I weave it together with a lesson. And it doesn't have to be motivational speech, inspirational, but that's what I do without that title. And except for tomorrow and the day after, because I typically do not come on the weekends. I do go live daily. I have been going live twice a day, like earlier in the day and then in the evening. I don't have a certain time. Wow, yo, yo. So is it Yo Hope Yo? If it's your middle name, Yo Hope Yo. I don't have a specific time. So if you miss my lives, because I definitely come live, all of my lives are on my YouTube page, which is Hope is Speaking, and you can go to my daily TikTok lives, and I upload all of my lives, which are like podcast length. And I have other content, and you can catch me there too. And I have a TED Talk entitled The Emergency Landing You Need. If you go to my link in bio, it is the first box, or just go to YouTube and put Hope TED Emergency Landing. My TED Talk will come up. And I speak to inspire and just maybe shift your perspective, make you laugh, allow something to come through the word. And yeah, follow me here, subscribe to me on YouTube. And I always close with be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up, because whatever you want to do, you can't do it if you don't show up. If you don't show up, it can't get done. It's just gonna be the thought in your head. It ain't never gonna get done. But if you show up consistently, it will. Make it look good when you show up. Don't come in nasty pajamas or oversized sweats. We keep it sexy over here, okay? We keep it sexy. I don't do it unless it's sexy. We like the sexy. Grown and sexy, okay? I've emphasized the sexy part. And the other night I said, be bold. Now take it to the step of being brave. Because being bold, like, you know when someone's bold, like, oh, she bold. She said that. Now I'm brave. So you accomplish being bold, and then the next step is to be brave. And to be brave is fully stepping in, not thinking that I'll lose, that they'll hate me, or even thinking of the outside opinion of others, because you're brave, you're going for it. It's just there and you're getting it. So you've moved past being bold, where you told people, leave me alone, and now you're brave, where you are in a new space of warrior, like I am brave, I'm leading, I'm doing this, I have what it takes. I am on the horse looking over the prairie, it is mine. So be fully in that brave energy. I think this full moon brought that. What's up, Dirty Red? And bravery will bring you everything. It will bring you everything. And to be brave, thank you, Dirty Red, for the follow, girl. To be brave is to completely transform. It takes something. Not for me. I do it easily. I've been doing it for years. But to take the step is first be bold, step into bravery, and then what comes after bravery? Go find out. Be brave and go find out. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you on Monday because I won't see you on here. Bye-bye. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Check out my YouTube. I got it all there too.